Hi, everybody. It is great to be here with you. My name is Diva, and I am here with my wonderful friend, Kalpana. Hi, Kalpana.
Hello.
And we are here to talk with you about relationships. Now, relationships is a huge topic, and luckily within Access Consciousness, there are many, many incredible classes done by incredible facilitators around the world on the topic of relationships and relationships done different. And, I personally have attended a lot of these classes in the past, and I know my relationships have changed hugely. So, we wanted to share with you directly some of the experiences that people have had from attending the classes and using all of the tools from Access Consciousness with regards to relationships. So, I have invited Kalpana to be here with me today. She's a certified facilitator of Access Consciousness. She's a relationships done different facilitator too. So she is a wealth of knowledge. And I know that for you, Kalpana, you've been able to create something incredible and magnificent in your life with the tools of access. And an interesting thing that I always find is that in relationships, we tend to have the point of view that we have to spend most of our time accommodating somebody else's needs while also losing ourselves in the process. So I wanted to start off by asking you, what was the question that you were asking, or what was it that you were looking for that got you to even attend some of the relationship classes and start using the tools in that area of your life?
I think you nailed it by saying how much we've learned to be accommodative. And that's like a good thing, right? Like you're
Yeah.
so good, you're adjusting, you're making it work. And one of the few first classes I attended around relationships came from this curiosity of relationships shouldn't be so hard. Why are they so hard? Why is drama so normal? And I have an Indian background, I have awesome parents, and sure, there's a lot of these emotions and intensity and
Yeah.
expectations. So for me it really came from this curiosity of, I wonder if it can be different, and I get that it should be different. And that led me to many of the classes in Access connected to that topic, and showed me that my curiosity, it granted me this gift of like, oh my God, something else is possible with relationships. They don't have to be so difficult or tough.
Yeah. And I think you said something so interesting, which is, there's so much drama in relationships. And I know that very often when you're going through drama, it doesn't feel like you're going through drama. It just feels like that's a fact. That's the situation as it is. There's nothing that can change it other than perhaps you getting your way or somebody else changing or you having to divorce some part of you. So it's so interesting to actually take a moment to sit back and go, okay, is this actually a little bit of drama? Could I have the vulnerability to admit that to myself and see what else I could choose here?
Yeah. I think the parent topic, like with parents, it's like all the buttons get pressed and all the drama gets activated. So it's really good to have that moment of like, hold on, um,
Yeah.
taking a step back and really looking at how relevant it is. Like, is this really relevant? And yeah.
Yeah. And it's great because we talk about relationships and very often the first thing that pops to mind is the relationship with a partner, with a lover, but this is all relationships, like you're saying, with parents, with family, with your kids, with your friends, co-workers, with your staff or your boss as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's very dynamic. So I wanted to ask you, so what is one of your favorite go-to tools when it comes to relationships? I know there are many, but what is one that you kind of always tend to pick up and use that a little bit more than the others?
I would say, when things get like what we were talking about, like when things get dramatic or things get intense, or you can perceive your body already like, "Arr," and you're like, oh my God, we're going there, or we're already there. My favorite tool, like my first tool, is barriers down. Like actually, because when we get into these thoughts and feelings and emotions and intensity and drama and upset a lot of times, or anger, our barriers go up, and then we cannot really be present with the person. And also, there is no vulnerability possible. Like what you said, like, hey, what if you can just take a moment and get vulnerable and present? When you bring your barriers down, that vulnerability becomes available. You don't have to be right. You can look at what's actually possible instead of how, how this person is wrong or how you are wrong or whatever it is that's up. So my first thing is really, okay, barriers down. And sometimes that's quick, and sometimes it's a bit of you have to really ask for it and be present, like, no, really, barriers down. Oof, and breathe and expand from that space gets me to the space of vulnerability and be like, hey, what is this now, and what's available here? The barriers down really help me to get present with me and with what's possible, instead of what often we go into what's impossible or what's right or wrong. So that's my go-to tool. And there's so many, as you said, but this is the first one that I use that really changes the energy. Because when you're in this or just by yourself and you bring your barriers down, you suddenly get present with the energy of possibilities, and also with what I said, what is actually relevant. Sometimes you're in a argument with, let's say, your mom or your sister, and it's really about nothing. And then you're like, hey, wait a minute, what's relevant here? This is so not relevant. Relax. So for me, this is a very powerful, simple tool that we tend to forget. So powerful and awesome. Yeah.
And you mentioned that it allows you to get present with you, which is such a different point of view as well, because like you're saying, when you're present with you, you're taking the focus away from the relationship being a problem or the other person being a problem, and you're looking at what you can change. So
Yeah. And also, what you were saying about how when we think about relationships, we think about a lover or, our partner. And there's so many topics that come up, actually, like relationship with the boss or friends or kids. Relationship with yourself is one of the things that really opened up hugely unexpectedly when I started to follow these classes and access around relationships. We always think about somebody else, and in the end, the common factor is always you. So
yeah,
the relationship with yourself really changes, and it's not something that I was looking for, but it was this huge awareness, like, oh my God, this one changes everything around me and other relationships too.
yeah. That's wonderful. It's again, it's so empowering to recognize that you can actually choose from that space, and it doesn't need to be something external, but you actually have the power and the choice to make your life better when it comes to relationships. So another question that I have for you is, so what would you say has been like a big aha moment that you had in a relationship class, that again perhaps you didn't expect, but was something that definitely changed the trajectory of your
Mm.
relationships?
Wow, I was so many. One of the things that so I was born and raised in the Netherlands. My parents are Indian. So Gary Douglas always teases me saying, you're not Indian. And actually what I realized in one of the classes is how much I had bought about Indian stuff and conditioning, because it's all, the way we deal with people, it's all conditioning, it's all programming. It's not, it's so much just a way of looking at the world. And I just realized how much I had bought into certain things. Might have been born and raised in the Netherlands, but how much I was still looking in a way through the eyes of my family at certain relationships, things that was not my reality, not my point of view at all. And it was really like the spell was broken, very specifically when it comes to relationships, because there is this wrongness about things changing, or there's this wrongness about things not having a relationship, for example, is really wrong. Like, oh my God, you're alone, it's the end of the world. And I just realized how much that had been in my world in a very refined way, all these things. And it just really was like, holy shit, this is not me at all. This is, you know
Yeah, that's it's incredible really how much the culture that we're brought up with affects everything, especially
yeah,
relationships.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
And like for me, it's really like, even up to today, like a really unraveling of how much you function like your parents. Like, I'm really laughing at myself sometimes, like, oh my God, that was my mom coming out of my mouth. And
Yeah,
that's also, and then not to judge it, because that's what we usually do, like, oh my God, my mom is so stupid, or I'm stupid, or we're both stupid. But it's more like, oh, I don't have to choose this. And this is also
yeah.
what really showed up in the classes and the aha moments for me.
And really what you're talking about is the choice to be more conscious, in your relationships. It's not about getting it right, getting the perfect relationships, but choosing to get off of that automatic pilot and having a lot more choices. So, to somebody who's never taken a relationship class or thinks that the relationship classes don't apply to them, because I know that was my point of view for a long time. I was like, I don't have a relationship. I'm not even interested in a relationship. Why would this apply to me?
Yeah.
What would you say to them, could be part of the value of actually choosing more consciousness in a relationship?
Wow. I would say that we do a lot of unconsciousness when it comes to relationships. And like you said,
Mm.
Diva, it's this automatic pilot of reaction that seems to be the source of relationships. Like I react, you react, you react. It's like a reaction dance, which doesn't really get us to the path of possibilities or creation. I would say that right now what has also changed, I'm taking a bit of a detour to the question, but like the people in my life are all really contributing to my life and I'm
Mm.
contributing to their life. So you have people in your world with whom you can create greater, you can have, greater possibilities, more fun, honoring, kindness, joy. And
Yeah.
we tend to live from this point of view that we have no choice when it comes to relationships. These are my friends, this is my family, this is just the way it is. And when you add consciousness to this, you start to see like, hey, but this is not matching. I'm just doing it because I'm supposed to, but who told me that? So the conscious perspective actually gets you present with what you would like to have as your life. And relationships are such a vital part of our life. Okay, your boss might not necessarily be your choice, but even there, what when you function from the consciousness perspective, you're going to be so different around it. You're going to know that you can change something. Like you said, it's coming from an empowered place. So that changes everything. So for me, this if when I didn't know that I could have these possibilities, and when access started to show me, oh my God, there is so much more possible. Relationships are make up our lives. We are relating to the world and ourselves all the time. And if you would have the tools that actually give you the peace and the relaxation of knowing that you can create something that works for you, your whole life changes. And really, this peace for me has become so incredible, like impossible. Because, oh my God, wait a minute, I'm not the victim. I'm not affected all the time by somebody else's choices. I can choose something here myself. So, the consciousness perspective is a game changer and such a gift for you, and by that to others who would like that too, but they don't even know it. So your choice in getting more information about this, getting more present with your own life, will change everything for you and for those who desire it.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to have had this chat with you, and thanks for, opening that door and showing us that really you do have choice in relationship. Like, what if nobody ever had to have a relationship problem ever again? What is it that you would like to create? Yeah, like, and just like you said, Kalpana, like if you didn't have to be at the effect of other people's choices, what would work for you? And what if you could actually now access the tools that would allow you to consciously choose that with a lot more ease and peace as well? So thank you so much, Kalpana. Thank you for everybody who's been watching. Please remember to go and check out all of the upcoming relationship classes on the Access Consciousness website and the incredible products. We've got lots and lots of products that are mostly of class replays. So they are very, very dynamic. And there are some incredible books as well. So enjoy, and what else is possible now? Thank you.